technologies. And if you guys haven't listened, me and Jared did a class on this, a podcast, if you will, on talking a little bit about the technologies that have come about and where they've come from, open source. And a lot of people do not realize that a lot of what Windows has, a lot of what the big tech companies has, a lot of it is open source technology, right? SpaceX is using open source software. We'll talk about that example here in a second. Microsoft Azure, they're using open source software for cloud management. So the open source is something that is widely used within the tech industry, and we want to kind of talk about that. So we talked about Windows, but a powerful example of open source software is Linux. Okay, Linux runs about 96% over 96% of the servers worldwide. Okay, as it says there, 65 SpaceX flights were completed using Linux-powered technologies. So all of our servers inside of the iN8 cloud run Linux on them. Okay, there's a version of Linux that's run on them that is the operating system of which we can then go and put other softwares on top of that. Okay, but this is the base, right? You have your Windows servers, you have your Linux servers. Windows is a paid enterprise version. Sometimes a lot of people call it very clunky, and that's why a lot of developers have gone the open source route with Linux. Like I said, their Linux controls, well, it's a free software, so 96% of all of the servers globally run Linux. You look at any server out there, 9 out of 10 times, over 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be a Linux server, okay? So let's talk about what we are doing with iN8. What we're doing is kind of a hybrid model. We are taking open source software, okay? You see some of the open source projects that we're using down below: Nextcloud, Jitsi, and iN8, okay? You're going to start to see a lot of these logos come up as we start to put our software out there. This call is being done because I want to kind of start to lay the foundation and talk about the software that's coming out and talk about the tools that you're going to have and some of the tools of, well, why should we use the cloudx software? Why should we use the iN8 software? Well, number one, it's software that pays you. So does Zoom pay you? No, but iN8 does. Does Google Photos pay you? No, but iN8 does. Does Google Workspace pay you? Does Slack pay you? No, but we do, okay? And you can build a referral model through it. You can build an organization through it, build sales teams. But everybody out there is utilizing some type of organizational management. That's what the hub is: organize and collaborate. Okay, you have your files in there, you have photos in there if you want, you can have docs in there, you can share across platforms, very secure. You can have instant communications inside and outside of your organizations. Soon it will also have email integrated as well. Okay, that's your hub. That's powered by Nextcloud. iN8 is an open source software that has been built to compete with the likes of Google Photos. Okay, this is something where you can download the app directly to your phone. You can do the same thing with our hub, but the iN8 is directly related to media, so photos, videos. Okay, you have your own private server for it, and all of this, like I said, it's built on your own private server. So data security, data privacy is in your hands. It's in your control, okay? Nobody else's. And then lastly, Jitsi Meet there. Jitsi Meet is a open source, again, project built to compete with the likes of Zoom. So over this next week or so, you guys are going to start seeing us transition from the Zoom platform into Jitsi, but Jitsi runs on our cloudx hardware. So anytime we're using any of these products and services, anytime that you're using the hub, anytime that you're using Jitsi, anytime that you're uploading a photo to your iN8 server, okay, guess who's getting paid? You are, as a DAO seat holder. Now, if you're a cloudx owner, it might be going on your server, it might not. So that's one thing we have to kind of look at there. There's a difference between the cloudx model and the the tokenized model, the NFT model, if you will. Okay, so the great thing about the DAO and the NFT model is that it really gets supported across an umbrella of the entire company or the entire organization. So this is the model that we're going after, guys. Number one, why? Because we're not required to become a software development company out the gate. Will we do our own software development and pro services and stuff like that? Yes. But at this point in time, it's just not advantageous economically, financially for us to go out there and build our own stuff from scratch. So we're taking stuff off the shelf, as they say, and we're customizing it to run on cloudx hardware. So when we go out there and we sell a Jitsi powered by cloudx, you're getting paid. If you sell image powered by cloudx, you get paid. If you're selling the iN8 hub, that one does have our own private label on it. If you're selling iN8 hub or iN8 drive or iN8 connect, all of those products are going to pay you as a DAO seat holder and potentially as a cloudx owner if it's running on your server. Okay, so number three, the power of the network. This is where I believe our model differentiates from a lot of things that are out there. Okay, we have our B2B, for those business to business model. That is our Morpheus platform. Okay, I'm not here to talk about Morpheus, but I'm here to talk about our B2C model, which is the power of the network. As we grow this, guys, as we grow and we grow out the DAO, as we mint out NFTs, as we start to grow, what is going to happen? We are going to start to create an army. We're going to start to create a global user base for cloudx powered software. Okay, how many of us right now are utilizing Zoom for our own personal organizational building, right? On a day-to-day basis, we're utilizing Teams or Zooms or Google Meeting, whatever it may be. Well, start to use our cloudx powered software and you start to pay yourself back as you're using it, right? And you start to earn a royalty revenue as you start to share that with your team and migrate them from, let's say, from Zoom to cloudx powered software. What's going to happen? You're going to start to get paid more and more. That creates more and more royalty burn. This is what we call our self-consumption model or our B2C model. Okay, this is going from a business directly to a consumer, from iN8 to you as an independent business owner, from you to other micro entrepreneurs that are out there. Okay, so number four, the power of the token. I already started to touch on this a little bit. Okay, the power of the tokenization of our ecosystem. It could be the iN8 token, it could be the DAO seats, any type of tokenization that we have within our ecosystem. It has been set up so that the token benefits the most. Okay, now this is a small shift from our business model a year ago. And why this shift, Joe? What's changed? Well, the regulatory environment of the United States of America has changed. We have a new administration. We've been talking about this over and over and over again the last few weeks, last few months. They just announced a digital asset reserve, a strategic Bitcoin reserve here in the United States. Okay. They've announced potentially no capital gains tax on US-based tokens or cryptos. That's another game changer for what we're doing with tokenization. So the power of the token, as we start to grow this, and we've seen this already with the DAO seats, if you're a DAO seat holder, you're basically earning off the entire cloud network, the hardware, the software, okay? The DAO seat was set up so it could be the governance and participation of the actual company, okay? So when you buy a DAO seat, I like to use the example, and again, this is an example for illustration purposes only, but when you have your DAO seat, that's like your membership. That's your country club membership. That's like your stock certificate, if you want to look at it like that, saying, hey, I am a stakeholder of the DAO. Since because you are staking your NFT in our reward system, you are being rewarded iN8 token, which is a fungible token, which is then exchangeable or swappable, okay, sellable, whatever term you want to use, transferable to another stable coin token called USDT Tether. Okay, that's pegged to the dollar. So you could take your token and convert it into a stable coin, and then you could take that stable coin to anywhere in a crypto ecosystem, Web3 ecosystem. You can take it to an exchange and put it into your fiat currency in dollars, in pesos, in soles, in whatever currency you might be living in, right? Whatever country you might be living in. So that is the power of the token. Now, what I'm setting all this up because what we've seen over the last little bit is we've seen people realizing the DAO seats have power, but one of the small issues, there's two small issues that we're starting to run into. Number one, we only had 21,000, so our inventory was going to be limited. And number two, the price point for my friends in emerging markets, my friends down in Latin America, it really prices us out of the market. So what we've done, guys, and what we're going to talk about today, and it's not launching today, but this is kind of a preview of some of the things that we're working on so that you guys don't get blindsided, and I'm giving us time to kind of make some adjustments here, okay? So what we want to talk about, what we're introducing is a cloudx NFT, okay? This cloudx NFT will participate in the same tokenomics that the DAO seat participates in. Let me say that again, okay? The cloudx NFTs will be participating in the same tokenomics that the DAO seats participate in. They'll participate at a 1/5 of the weight. Okay, so it'll be one DAO seat will equal 5 cloudx NFTs, or vice versa. 5 cloudx NFTs will equal 1 DAO seat as far as token distribution. Okay. The other, sorry, I have this notification going off here. The other thing about these cloudx NFTs, they are going to be a fraction of the cost. I want to take this, and if you guys have any questions, you guys can start to line them up in the chat here. The cloudx NFT, it will be the micro node or the co-own model. For those of you guys that are in the US, you guys know it as the co-own. Many people within the US have asked me for months and months and months and months, okay? Can we get the fractional ownership in the US? Okay. So Michael, yeah, we haven't held a vote on this yet. That's correct. It's in a working committee on the DAO committees right now, which has been approved. And so we're now putting this out there. That's part of what we're doing here. So again, we haven't voted on it yet, but we have to talk about it first. Okay. So the cloudx NFTs are going to be priced at about $300. Okay, I'm saying about because it could be plus or minus a few bucks. The DAO seat NFTs will be priced at $300, which goes in line with what the co-own model was. Okay, this does not dilute any of the DAO seat holder token. It does not, Michael. So before you jump to conclusions, please let me get through my my presentation here. Correct. Mark, like I said, I'm going to go through my presentation and I'll come back to your guys' questions here. Okay. So the cloudx NFTs is taking what was we're hybriding a cloudx co-own model with the DAO seat model. Okay. What we are going to do is we are going to burn 10,000 DAO seats. Okay. We are going to burn 10,000 DAO seats. That means our inventory of DAO seats will be limited to 11,000. That'll be 3,000 founders, okay? 3,000 founders, and the rest will be, the other 8,000 will be ambassador seats. So we're going to limit the amount of founder seats that we have. So those of you guys that already have founder seats, your founder seats are going to be now even more valuable because the dividend will be paid out to only 3,000 instead of 11,000. Okay. The ambassadors will still have a large pool, which is 8,000. And since we're burning 10,000, and remember I said the cloudx NFT will be 1/5 of a DAO seat, that means we get to create 50,000 cloudx micro NFTs. Okay, so it's still the same 21,000 DAO seats, if you will. Okay, but what we're doing is we're limiting the DAO seats to 11,000. We will eliminate 10,000 DAO seats from inventory, and we're going to create 50,000 micro NFT, cloudx NFTs. Okay, that it will be the same token distribution, because a cloudx NFT will be 1/5 of what a DAO seat. I'm going to use air quotes here, mines, distributes, receives for distributions, okay? As you guys know, we are not mining token. I want to be totally clear on that. It is minted token being distributed to your wallets for staking, okay? It's proof of staking. Sometimes using the term mining is just a lot easier. So what this does is it allows for us to have a price point that is $300, that is tokenized, and that people can participate in around the world. This allows us to expand our user base, to create that global user base, guys. Remember, we need to think global. Here in the US, I even have people in the US wanting the $300 price point. So I'm not even just saying in the US. Sorry, I'm getting a message here. Let me see. This is the boss writing me. Oh, okay. We forgot one slide here. That's the problem. So we forgot one slide in the slide deck, and which is okay. I'll just go through and explain some of the things here. So I want to kind of go through this again. Okay. This is not meant to be a vote. This is not meant to be a full Q&A session right now. This is meant to be an introduction to an idea that we have out there. Okay. This is an introduction, and I'm stating the pros and the cons. Okay. So there are many pros. The cons, Mark Saylor brought it up. He brought up the thought of the securities ruling thing in the U.S. Like I said, the securities issue here in the U.S. at this point, Mark, is essentially non-existent within the framework that the U.S. government is putting out, right? So we are definitely following all the rules that are out there. But what really breaks the security rule, as you guys know, is the proof of governance model. We are already doing this model with the DAO seats. So why can we not do it with the cloudx? The cloudx, there will be a small fee, a small managed services agreement fee. As you guys know, in the cloudx model, we had a managed services agreement fee, okay? That was $100 per machine, if you guys remember this, $100 per machine per month to host your cloudx node with us. Well, what we've done is we're taking that cloudx MSA agreement, managed services agreement, and it will still apply to the cloudx NFTs, but it will be at about $1, maybe $1.50 per, which is payable in token that you mine, or it's payable via subscription. I mean, there's a lot of things in there. So as long as you're staying active within the ecosystem, you're participating, those are the things that we're leaning on to break the Howey issue. Okay. There will not be an email communication on this, Michael. All of our voting is currently being done in the hub. I recommend you go through in the hub. We have an announcement section. We will outline all of this in the announcement section. We'll outline it in a proposal if we're taking this to a vote, which is up to the DAO committee members at this point in time. But yes, all of this will be outlined in a communication where we are, as a company, bringing all of our communications internal. As you know, if you haven't done so already, I recommend you download either Nextcloud Talk or iN8 Connect so you can have your communications on your phone. It's a lot easier, okay? So some things out there, we'll cover some of those things in another training, okay? So that's that for today. Like I said, we didn't have another slide here. I think I got through my 3 questions that I had there. So I'm going to go back into presentation mode, talk a little bit about Tulum. Okay. Obviously, as you guys know, The qualification is ending in now 3 weeks. May 3rd through the 6th is when we have the trip. The qualification ends March 28th, okay? So, as you guys know, we've had our leaderboard up for a while. We have some people that are continuing to move on. Miguel is still at the top of our leaderboard there. Nicola Palacios has moved into the number 2 spot. Mark Seller, 3rd. Maje Vigil, Alonso Alvarez, rounding up the top 5. Rick Sandra, Mauricio Palacio, JRM Capital, Braula Mantilla, and Maria Rocha, all in our top 10 there. So congratulations to those guys. All of you guys, well, I'll make that announcement at the end. I'll talk about the next steps here. Number 11 here, Jorge Salazar. Number 12, Miguel Rodriguez. 13, Andres Salazar. Number 14, Jose Alvarez. 15, Terry Tillert. 16, Carola Grafias. 17, Charlotte Graham. 18, Yesen Pineda. 19, Catherine Ann Clayton. And 20, Manuel Alvarez. So that's our top 20 there. All of them are qualified there. I'm just going to read off the next 3 here. Mr. Vision Team, 12,350 points. Carlos Ramirez and Ruben and Kathy Sanchez, all are top 23 qualifiers. We do have some mentions here. Kevin and Sarah Shabbat, only 60 points away, so there's no doubt in my mind you guys will be qualifying for the trip. Josemi Huertas, Diego Romero, Gustavo Alvarez, Joel Guerin, Joel, and James Corbett, and Javier Ramirez. All of them are on the cusp of qualifying. So that's our top 30 there. And then rounding up on our last few places here, Juliet Rodriguez, Matias Vigil, Alexis Canavillas, Luis Auman de Savecci, Wilson Zavetta, Lanvidar Manche, excuse me if I'm butchering these names, Victor Barrios, Stephen Green, Maxima Huayta, and David Arias there. So all you guys are there on the cusp. Every single one of these people that we have on these slides right now have the potential to qualify. So go out there, push these last couple weeks. And I know you guys, if you guys really put your mind to it, you guys can do it. So the announcement for this week as far as the trip, because we're getting towards the end of the qualification here. Members that have qualified, fully qualified, okay, you will be receiving an email to register for the trip, okay? In the email, it's going to take you to a website. You're going to put in your information. Once you get into the site, your information will be there. You're going to be able to book everything that you need to. And then you'll be able to add days or remove days. I shouldn't say remove. Add days to the trip if you wanted to. So if you're looking to go down with the family beforehand or stay a little bit longer, I believe those are options that you'll be able to take to be able to book within the ecosystem, okay, or within that platform. So that is going out Monday. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Anybody that's going out there that's received or that has qualified for the trip, fully qualified. Those of us that are resort stay qualified, we're going to be holding off just in case you guys move up. So this way we can get you guys the correct tier of qualification. So that's the announcements that we had for this week, guys. Really appreciate it. I think, let me see if I have a message here. I think we were going to go Liv, are you on with me right now? Are you on here? No. Okay. Okay. Looks like we forgot one slide. We'll get it out next week, guys. I think we were going to do a giveaway, but we'll get that announced next week. Appreciate your guys' time here again on the cloudx NFTs. This was just a first teaser of some of the things that we're working on. We'll get the proposal. It'll be in the hub. We'll get working on it and cranking on that stuff. So thank you guys. Have a phenomenal day. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys.
Recording stopped.